we will look into IR questions. IR questions were less in number, but this was directly picked from the world page itself. So the first question was all about the refugees. And about refugees, the first one is BD, northwestern Kenya. This is wrong. They are not present in Kenya. So that statement was wrong. Some people who fled from South Sudan civil war live in BD. Correct. Some people who fled civil war in Somalia live in Dadaab refugee complex in Kenya. Correct. So this was directly picked from newspaper, and they're actually talking about this from Africa, guys. As I told you, every year you will have some questions which will be out of the box. We can't go and study to that depth every time. So even if you have left this, it's absolutely fine. Now, consider the following countries. This was very important because last year you had a fight between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and organization of Turkic states mainly means the countries which normally talk Turkish languages. So you can see Azerbaijan and Uzbekistan, which was part of this. This is a direct question again. Yeah, there is some confusion in this case, so let me explain this a bit. According to UNCLOS, UNCLOS, consider the following statements. A coastal state has the right to establish the breadth of its territorial sea up to a limit not exceeding 12 nautical miles, measured from the baseline, determined in accordance with the convention. So I clearly told you, if you take India, if this is baseline, 12 nautical miles is your what we call as territorial waters. Ships of all the states are given a right to innocent passage. I told you, if someone enters into this, we ask them, but let them go. Now, this specific one, people say is right, but I have read in a different context. So we need to see what UPSC gives as a key. But the exclusive economic zone, the thing what they're trying to say is, so if I take this as a continental shelf, like this, from here, if I call this as a baseline, and let me assume this is my 200 nautical mile. Fine. Then from the baseline, 200 nautical mile is exclusive economic zone. Correct. But some countries had pressurized United Nations that at least my exclusive economic zone must be till continental shelf. And United Nations had agreed that exclusive economic zone will be either 200 nautical miles or it will be continental shelf. So if continental shelf is greater than 200 nautical miles, then exclusive economic zone is equal to continental shelf. If continental shelf is less than 200 nautical miles, then exclusive economic zone will be equal to 200 nautical miles. Fine. So this is what we had to study and look into. Fine. So here the statement says in a completely different form, shall not extend beyond 200 nautical miles from the baseline from which the breadth of the territorial sea is measured. Shall not extend beyond. I have apprehensions on this. So according to me, 1 and 2 are correct. Fine. We need to check because some keys are saying it's 1, 2 and 3. I don't know on what basis they are saying it, but to be frank, technically this is what it is. And this issue was asked for 12.5 marks in mains. In prelims they are asking again because of South China Sea and East China Sea issue, which I had discussed in IR classes and last year geography through maps as well. When we talk about East China Sea, you have ADIZ issue, Air Defense Identification Zone. People who have attended my IR classes, if you open your class notes and check, East China Sea dispute Senkaku Islands is clearly given, and in that I have told, see, it is generally believed that they are artificial islands made by a country around South China Sea. Senkaku is in East China Sea. China and Japan engage in maritime disputes over these islands in East China Sea, correct? A permanent American military base has been set up there to help Taiwan to increase its defense capabilities. Actually, it was under American military, but they gave it back to Japan long back. Though International Court of Justice declared them as no man's land, some Southeast Asian countries claim them. They are talking about Paracel Islands and Spratly Islands, not about Senkaku Islands. So the word they have tried to confuse this. Clearly, I have discussed in the class. You can see them. Again, this was clearly picked up from the newspaper. Chad is not a permanent military base of China, so this was wrong. And these 3 were correct. If you have really answered such questions correctly by fluke, then it's really great. Yeah. So guys, Catalonia is part of Spain which is asking for independence. I had discussed in the class also that their main motto which unites them is football. Their main goal is to ensure Catalonia will win the Football World Cup once. So this was in Mozambique. These 2 are wrong. The other 2 were correct. So only 2 pairs. Guys, these questions are coming from the world page directly, where UPSC is asking some areas which students normally neglect. Even we don't encourage you to read them, genuinely speaking, mainly because you'll be confused with the issues that are going around in the world. But anyone who is trying to give you some PT 365s, rapid revisions, in the end are useless. I keep repeating to students, you trust anyone, it's fine, but don't forget to do what you have to do. When I tell students to read newspaper for 1.5 hours every day, so that you get familiarity with these things, people really don't listen to us. And now when questions come, they just feel, I don't know from where they are asking questions and I'm not able to clear. Everyone wants to study current affairs magazines provided. So if you are one among them, you will be one among 95% of the students who didn't clear this exam. If you're not, then it's completely different. Every year, we are able to create good ranks among the students, mainly because we are teaching them the path. Most of the students, by looking at 1 or 2 questions, they feel we need more knowledge. And clearly in the class, we keep telling them that everything cannot be done in the examination hall. Learn in such a way that whatever you know, you will be able to write them with clarity. Negatives reduces. You will be definitely in the list. And this is the reason why we are able to produce successful aspirants. So continuing the same journey this year as well, we are having mains mentorship program, realizing the lacunae in the market where most of the people are being diverted by false advertisements and all. So if you wish to be part of our mains mentorship program, please ensure that you register yourself. From the previous years, even if you are on par with previous year cutoffs, try to start preparing. And as I told you before as well, we have a team of expertise where the faculties are dedicated to produce good results. And once we can help and provide justice to students, rest all follows easily. We need not do any marketing or anything. You might have observed that students who have cracked this exam, everyone is unique in their own way, and every student is unique in our classrooms as well. So when we treat every student uniquely, working on their strengths will help them score better, because one student might score better in one paper, other maybe in other paper because of their skills. So here, the main motto is to explore that and help them to do better, and somehow they are in the list. So guys, we are also having the new prelims cum mains batch, optional classes and all. But if at all you're scoring less, don't think much. Prepare for mains, look at the result, but at least spend one day in analyzing in every subject how many questions came and how exactly you performed in each one. If you can just look at that, I hope that should be easier. Thank you, guys.